Welcome to another episode of Nita Nay's Books, Author's Point of View. Thank you for joining me on tonight. My special guest is Kathleen Leonard. She is an Emmy-nominated hairstylist to the stars. We're going to go behind the scenes to see how the artists work. All right? Welcome, Kathleen. Um, we are going to start at the beginning. How did you get into this? We want the real, we want the 100, and it's okay if it's not a humble beginning.
Okay. Well, the reason why I got into hair is because I had to learn how to do hair at a young age because I had a mom. I am mixed, and my mom was white, and my dad is black. And so my grandmother, she sat there. She was heavy-handed,
Oh,
350 pounds.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And being a little girl with a whole bunch of hair back then, I sat there and when I was 7, I learned how to braid my hair, put my own little ponytail.
Right.
But I got tired of the slapping and combing and gripping with your legs like that.
Right.
That,
Right.
and then you gripping, but you pulling my hair, making my hair move. I didn't understand the situation.
Right.
So my mom said, as soon as she saw that I could do some braids, she said, now you got your sisters.
Oh,
So
wow.
I had my hair, but 2 others.
Wow.
That don't even make sense.
Right, right. How old were you then?
7.
Oh, that's young.
Mm-hmm.
But you know what? I really believe that it was God ordained because look at where you are now.
Yeah.
So tell me in regards to where your love came into the process because I know you were young. So when did the love of doing hair and being in that process come for you?
Okay, so when I was 11, I started doing French braids.
Oh,
And I
okay.
noticed so you could make it last for a week. Oh, yeah. You got to learn how to do all kind of French braids. So I
Right.
learned how to do it with the beads and everything. So I got real creative with it. And then extensions came in. And so I would do my sister's hair and people would honk and would tell her how beautiful her hair was. It was like an art piece. Like people were like,
Right,
they didn't
right,
understand because this was all new to everybody. And I
right,
was just so creative that I was just taking it to another level. I make the ends curly. So it looked like a hairstyle. I wanted
right,
my
right,
braids to look like a hairstyle, not just braids.
right.
So I just fell in love with just being able to create something and make, and when people wear it, all they kept doing was getting compliments on their hair. Like
Wow.
it was pure art. And then the time in my 20s, I think I was pregnant with my daughter, my son. When I got pregnant with him, I was staying at home. And I didn't like staying at home because I like working.
Right.
And I had to stay home because with him, I carried him so low. The doctor was like,
Okay.
you can't do nothing but stay at home because you're too
Right.
low. And I kept, having problems if I walked too far or something. So they told me to lay down. I didn't like that.
Right. Right.
So I created the business. I would sit there and the
Right.
lady I put a little pillow on the floor and a little pillow like for their back, and I'd be sitting in the back and I'd just be braiding up their hair. So I
Right.
was doing something.
Right.
So
You were doing
that
something.
created a business for me.
Oh, good. Oh, good. And so you transitioned from home business to shop business, where you were able
Oh,
to
yeah.
go ahead.
Yeah.
To eventually get out and be, I mean, it was a business, but in a shop, in a formal setting of being in a salon. So tell me how that went.
Okay, so as a braider, we didn't need to have a cosmetology license. So I
Right.
didn't have one, but I was so good at what I was doing that raising my kids, this braiding business, well, really was just braiding, people in the neighborhood. Then it got to the people where, when my kids were like 3 and 4, 5 and 6, 5, and 3 and 2. I had people knocking on my door from a braiding salon. If they couldn't braid the hair, they would send them to my house. And I
Wow.
was like, what are you doing? Well, I mean, I didn't understand. And they were like,
Uh-huh.
well, we know that you could do this. And so, and I was like, yeah, I could do your hair. If it's a quarter, it was like a quarter of an inch. I
Wow.
grab and I create
Wow.
some. We gonna
Wow.
make you have some hair.
Right, right.
So I'd be sitting here braiding so tiny and so little, and then I'd get their hair long enough where I can just go on to doing what normal braids
Mm-hmm.
that I was known for growing hair. And what it was
Okay.
is I didn't use chemicals. I always used oils and stuff
Mm-hmm.
and conditioners on the hair while I was braiding, because I knew that it had to be conditioned, it had to be oiled so it wouldn't be dry, and I always
Right.
told my clients to oil their scalp.
Mm-hmm.
So I was always into the hair care, and this was a way to control the situation and able to
Right.
wash and go without destroying the hair, because
Right.
we get crazy trying too many different things sometimes.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
So in the sense of, tell me about your first shop. What was that like? And to have that experience and be in that experience. Because see,
Well,
people don't know, but I've known her a very long time. She used to do my hair until she blew up. um, but she had a great shop in, that was Beverly Hills, right? Or is that Santa, was that the first one? Santa Monica.
Santa Monica.
Santa Monica.
Yeah, I'm gonna tell you something. I truly believe that I lift everybody up. I
Mm-hmm.
know that what I wanted
Mm-hmm.
was something I knew that I had to trust that God was going to get me there. And
Right.
while I was going there, I would braid hair, and I would, I went and got my license,
Mm-hmm.
because at a time when cosmetologies were coming at braiders, talk about you need to have a license. And we didn't understand, because you didn't teach what we did
Right.
and
Exactly.
there's no reason why you're telling me that I have to learn something from you when you
Mm-hmm.
don't teach it.
Right. Exactly.
Then I had to learn how to sit here and learn how to do cosmetology, and it just manifested and got me to another level. And
Mm-hmm.
I accepted it,
Right.
because a lot of my clients kept going to get their hair with relaxers or pressing curls, and their hair was being either too much heat or too much chemicals, and I had to sit here and stop it. I had to take
Okay.
control of
Mm-hmm.
my clients, because they would come to me, I would grow their hair, and when they would not be with me, their hair would break off, and then they'd be like,
Mm-hmm.
why don't you just do this? And I'd be like, I'm not a cosmetologist, which when I was young, I did go to school for cosmetology, but because I was working and going to school at 17
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
or 18, it was too much. I couldn't do
Right.
both. So I knew how to. So I went to school and I did this after my kids got a certain age. Like,
Right.
I sacrificed raising my kids.
Mm-hmm.
I knew how I wanted to do this. I wanted to be
Right.
there for them. So I was at home, and my kids supported me while I went through school. They supported me when I was working in the salons to go get my own salon, and they
Mm-hmm.
supported me while getting into the movie industry.
Right.
Like, I supported them and they supported me. Like, it was
Exactly.
amazing.
Wow,
So
that's great.
yeah, that was amazing. So what happened was I went and got my license, and then I started making sure that one thing I did was pay taxes. I believe
Mm-hmm.
if you pay taxes, it's just going to open doors, and it
Mm-hmm.
did.
Right.
Like,
Right.
I'm able to have a home. I'm able to, go and get what I want and not be questioned about how
Right.
I make my money.
Right. Right.
Because I can
Exactly.
prove that as long as I pay my taxes. And it's just like paying your tithes. You
Right.
pay your tithes, oh my goodness, what you get back
Right.
is
Exactly.
100-fold.
A hundredfold. Amen to
A
that one.
100-fold.
Amen to that one. So tell
So
me, from your um first shop, what has transpired since then? Because although uh I have introduced and told them, your big nod for the Emmy. tell them how you really got there. And you know, I know it took hard work. It wasn't something that, you know, happened overnight.
Mm-mm.
You've developed uh relationships, you've developed, you know, clientele, you know, high-end clientele. So tell the people a little bit about that, and then we'll go into some of your shows that you're doing.
Okay. Okay. So I remember just I was working with this one girl first in Pasadena, and I remember working really hard, and I was
Hmm.
always good to people. And you know,
Hmm.
people don't trust.
Right.
And I'm the type of person, because I trust God, that doesn't bother me. What you'll
Right.
see is what you get. Just
Hmm.
give, you know, if you're around me, you'll see what kind of person I am. I'm
Hmm.
not a person to tear people down or try to think that I'm, you know, more than them. I want to support everybody
Right.
in their dreams. So I remember she told me, after working with her for a year, she said, I know this thing. I went to this class. You know, I think that you would be good for it. And it was
Hmm.
to work on set.
Oh,
So,
okay.
and trust and believe, to take that class at that time, I didn't have the money, but let me tell
Right.
you how good God is. It was $2,500 for the week. It was 2,750, and this was like 20 something years ago.
Right. Okay.
Well, maybe not 20, but yeah, about 20 years
Oh,
ago. Oh my
right.
God, maybe 20, a little bit over, but.
Hmm.
So I sat here and took this class. I mean, I worked at night after I would get off work. I made sure I paid for that, saved up, paid for it.
Hmm.
And I was so good at the class because I give 104, give all my attention to what I'm doing. I
Right.
don't care if everything around me is going falling down. I put everything in perspective. I
Right.
don't let one thing bother to the other. If I'm stressed out, I will take that stress and I will put it into my work. Like I will
Hmm.
work hard, great, you
Right.
know,
Right.
styling, because I want it to come. I'm gonna put all my energy into it, and
Hmm.
it comes out amazing. It's like, oh, now I'm not so stressed out, but dang, you look good.
Right.
And my clients know that. They know if I'm really
Hmm.
tired or stressed out,
Hmm.
if I'm not talking, that their hair gonna come out 110% better. They
Right.
be like,
Right.
girl, do you? And I'll be like,
Exactly.
okay, this is working. So I took the class. The lady asked me to work in her salon because I was like, she even asked me to be her assistant with what she was doing.
Hmm.
And this was how to work on sets. And
Okay.
so I really got it down, and I understood the protocol, the ethics, of what people want. I kept my mouth shut,
Hmm.
and I did my work excellent because
Right.
I knew I don't want to be a gossip. I don't want to be
Right.
all holier than thou. I want to be there.
Right.
And because I'm there and I don't say anything and I keep myself quiet, people are able to trust me,
Hmm.
knowing that they don't see me bragging about one thing to the next thing.
Right.
They trust that I'm not going to be talking to the next show.
Right.
So what happened was I helped this one girl who couldn't afford the class at the time, but she was doing independent work and she was already on independent films. And I
Hmm.
started working with her on these films. And so one night she says, I got enough days to get into the union, but she said, I'll pay you. I said, you don't have to pay me. I said, honey, what God give me, I'm able to share, and
Right.
I'm going to share this with you.
Right.
This is not like I'm giving away to everybody, but what
Hmm.
she did
Hmm.
for me to bring me on, I
Right.
just helped her make sure that when she did the test, she did it correctly so that
Right.
way she get the highest points.
Hmm.
Now, I was doing independent films. I kept doing independent films while she went to the union. And it was a few years later that a film that she was told about that was from independent going to union that I could get on and earn my 30 days.
Oh, okay.
That ain't nothing but God giving me, oh, I was helping one
Open
person
door.
and then God opened the door when she could
Hmm.
to help me. I was like,
Right.
God is good. But
Right.
I left instead of not, I didn't get jealous or nothing. I lift her up. And
Right.
because I lift her up and I stayed faithful because I was so proud that she got there, look what God did for me. And she was
Absolutely.
like, I had to. Like her whole dream, her whole vision was to help me. That ain't
Wow.
nothing but an angel.
Right. Right. Absolutely.
Sometimes you gotta help an angel, and angel will come and help you.
Right. Exactly. Exactly.
So then I started getting into business, and I kept being faithful by not saying nothing, knowing and trusting in God that He was going to open the doors. I
Mm-hmm.
never doubted it. I just trusted in Him. If I
Mm-hmm.
felt like I wasn't good enough, I said, oh no, God will show me the right person in the right place where I could be. The first job in the union, I did this one film. I know I don't like scary movies because I
Right.
did vacancy too. I
Right.
worked on that.
Right.
I said, God, don't do that. Don't do that.
Right.
Don't
Right.
do that. I was like, I don't like that.
Right.
So, but
Well,
girl, God bless
we
me.
really have to ask God for what we want because you never
Don't worry,
know.
I
You
had to
really
work on
never
another
know.
one. I had to work on another one that was,
Oh
but I
boy. Oh
wasn't
boy.
scared by then because then I knew what they was doing.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, oh, is that what that is? Oh,
Right.
you can handle it. Just don't put no music and don't put it on TV because I'm not watching it.
Right.
I don't care about
Right.
work on it. I'm
Right.
not watching it.
Right.
That's not my business no more.
Right.
I'll be looking at them like, don't they hear the music?
Right.
Run.
Right. So tell me in the sense, okay, now you're in the industry. What
The,
was your first? Go ahead.
okay, so the first major stuff that I did
Mm-hmm.
was ER, and I worked on
Right.
Angela Bassett. I was her personal on Angela Bassett, for
Right.
Angela Bassett on ER.
Okay.
That was amazing. Her and her husband are amazing human
Wow.
beings. They are loving, God-fearing folks, and I just love them because they have such a great ethics. And just to see the love between them and their family was
Mm-hmm.
amazing.
Mm-hmm.
And to be a
Wow.
part of it was,
Mm-hmm.
it was, God was right there because I
Right.
enjoyed all of them. Oh my God. I know John Stamos was there. I mean, like there was some major, Maura Tierney was there. And I did work with a lot of people and they are such amazing human beings that are
Mm-hmm.
always just trying to do their best so that they can make you feel happy, comfortable, bring you to somewhere
Right.
where you're not thinking about your own situation,
Mm-hmm.
and then at the end try to uplift you to know that you're not alone. Like there's a
Right.
lot of stuff that goes behind it.
Right. Right. And so tell me your second one. What was your second biggest show?
Uh, it, um, let's see, was it True Blood?
True Blood.
Yeah,
Okay, you were on True Blood. Okay.
yeah,
Oh,
for a
that
couple
was
of years. That was I got to work. Oh my God! Neil Son, the one who passed away, I got to work with him
okay.
for a couple of years, and he taught me a lot too. He was
Wow.
such a good, honest young man. I
Right.
enjoyed him. I love him.
Wow. That's great. And so now you are officially on a couple of shows.
Yes, I've been on The Voice, working as
Mm-hmm.
working with the contestants for like 10 years now.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Mm-hmm.
and I just go on day check. And I used to work there a lot at the beginning, but
Mm-hmm.
then I started getting other jobs. Like I've worked on Mistresses for 4 years.
Okay.
You know, and that was with Rochelle Ayers, and she's amazing lady. Like God has
Mm-hmm.
blessed me. Oh,
Mm-hmm.
I worked with the Fosters. Oh my God, that was another
Oh,
one.
really? Okay.
I worked on that for a couple of seasons.
Mm-hmm.
There's so many that I've worked on, but because I go on to so many different shows, it's like, oh.
Right.
And
Right.
right now I'm department heading for Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
Right.
So Andy
This
Samberg and Andre
is
Bauer.
yeah.
And so with Cherry Crews is on there. So we have
Is
a lot of
that
good
set?
time.
How is that set? I know it's hilarious. I know.
Okay. I didn't know that, most shows you have to be really, really quiet. And they
Right.
have a section for hair, makeup, and wardrobe. So we're
Mm-hmm.
not as quiet, but I
Right.
had to stand by the Video Village. And when they do a funny scene, everybody bust up laughing. So
Right.
I felt good that I could do a little laugh. I can't
Right.
do as loud as
Right.
I want,
Right.
but I can do a little bit of a laugh and not feel guilty.
Okay.
Because,
So
honey, I always, I was told what show I worked on Awkward. That was
Okay.
a fun little show. And I remember where I was laughing and smiling, and and we were getting ready to roll, and I was like, and I turned around and I saw one of the producers looked at me, and he was just smiling, and it wasn't where I was disrespectful to the
Right.
set, but then
Mhm.
I was like, oh, I have to, be still, be
Mhm,
quiet,
mhm,
and I
mhm.
and I went and saw, I said, I'm sorry for, if I bothered you. He said no. He said when I'm going through stress or when I'm like, a little overwhelmed, to
Right.
see somebody who's enjoying their job and that we're in the
Mhm.
right place, he said, you bring me back to where I'm supposed to be at. We're in the right
Wow.
place. We're doing the right
Wow.
thing. And
Right.
he and even on Brooklyn Nine-Nine,
Mhm.
my boss, one of the producers, he says, just to see you smiling over there, he says, the network doesn't complain about any of your work. You're doing
Mhm.
phenomenal. And to
Right.
see that you're enjoying yourself too, and you make the actors happy, like you bring joy. You're not stressed out,
Wow.
distressed. And I said,
Wow.
as long as I show up and I'm doing what I'm supposed to do, I'm supposed to enjoy
Right.
this journey. I'm not supposed to be stressed out.
Right. Exactly.
A
Wow,
lot of
that
people
is so
stress out.
important.
And we have learning lessons. Don't get
Mhm.
me
Right.
wrong. I've,
Right. Right.
I've been reprimanded about certain
Mhm.
things because
Mhm.
I like to
Right.
talk
Right.
too much out loud. I'm a happy person. So
Right.
sometimes they
Right.
be like, quiet on the set, Kathleen.
Right. Oh, just straight point you out.
I'll be like,
Well, but
and I'll be like,
that's
why
life
you
though.
hire me? They be like,
Right.
because we love you. But
Right.
sometimes you get a little too happy.
Right. That is hilarious. So, so I heard from a little birdie that somebody may be producing something.
Oh, I'm working on producing my own show.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And
Do
I'm
we
coming
have
out
a
with right
title
now
of
working
that
on,
show?
huh?
Do we have a title of that show?
Yeah, I can't give
Or
it
is
out yet.
it secret? Okay. Okay.
But yeah, it's still in the makings because I have a
Hmm.
lot to do with it, and I'm looking for a major someone to connect to it. So it's still got a lot of stuff going on with that.
Okay.
But right now, God has blessed me with I came out with a product,
Hmm.
and now I'm Kathleen Secrets. So I'm an
Okay.
LCC.
Okay.
I'm an
So
LLC.
what is your product so the people can know?
Well, it's going to be coming out, and it's going
Okay.
to be called Halo Girlfriend.
Okay. Okay.
And it
Hello,
really
girlfriend.
helps you be able to get, like, I like natural hair, and because I went through a period of really strong menopause of sweating and stuff, I couldn't wear wigs, I couldn't wear
Hmm.
weaves because I would just sweat and start like just crazy, and
Right.
it took me 4 years to figure out how to get that under control.
Wow. Okay.
And so, like, and then I had used this product that took half my hair out, like
Hmm. Oh
literally
wow.
took it
Oh
out.
wow.
So
Okay.
I have to deal with people and be in front of them. I can't do that. And if I'm on
Hmm.
set and be in front of a camera while I'm doing last looks, like on The Voice, they do that. I don't
Hmm.
want to sweat. I don't want to be looking
Right.
crazy.
Right.
So I created something that will take a woman with her own natural hair and give it volume
Hmm.
and be able to control it 2 minutes and 2 seconds.
Okay. Okay.
Literally,
Right.
without stressing, without destroying, without doing anything. And you can stop wearing stuff to rubbing your edges out so you can keep your edges and work on your own hair and
Hmm.
do treatments and still have that joy of looking like you.
Oh wow. That's beautiful. That's
Yeah.
great. That is great.
So it's like all these little seeds God are planting, and I'm just like,
Hmm.
okay, God, I'm trying to do everything at once. So what
Right.
I'm doing is doing one thing at a time because I
Right.
ain't going nowhere.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. As long as we breathing, God has a plan and a purpose for us. So
Okay.
I am in total agreement of that. So tell the people, what do you do for fun outside of doing hair? Because I know you love hair. I know you love being on the set. What do you do outside of that for fun?
Not much.
Well, I know someone went on a major trip to, was it China or Japan?
Oh, but that wasn't China, was for hair.
It
Okay,
was
I
for
have
hair. Okay.
fun, but that's what, because Halo Girlfriend, I had to go to China, I have to go with the hair, I have to deal with different factories. I have
Okay.
learned about different wigs, how
Mhm.
hair is made, how it's
Mhm.
processed. I
Mhm.
have been in some 5 major different factories,
Oh wow.
and I found out the truth. You know, there's
Okay.
different
Okay.
levels of factories, but it's what level you're dealing with that makes a difference.
Okay. 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 That's
But
good to know.
I have fun.
Right.
Trust me, I have so
Okay.
much fun. I have fun.
Okay.
But let me tell you, God is good because the reason why I went over there, I went with Amy Gibson for Crown and Glory because
Mhm.
um, she is a major um, she was Emmy award-winning soap opera, and she
Mhm.
didn't have hair when people thought she did. Not even the
Okay.
network
Mhm.
knew. And she taught me so much that she took me over there. Now that's another
Okay.
blessing. God bless
Right.
me. I didn't know
Absolutely.
nothing. She showed me everything. And I work with her because I work with I color wigs that are high end, expensive,
Mhm.
but these are people who have alopecia or cancer.
Okay.
And
Okay.
trust and believe that with Black women, we have a lot of traction alopecia. We wear a lot of wigs, but there's a lot on the other side that you have no idea. Women
Wow.
have lost so much hair.
Wow.
Alopecia runs deep, and it has no. It's everybody, every culture.
Right. Right.
And so, and when you're going through cancer and you're dealing with jobs that you have to be in
Mhm.
front of a camera, you want to look just like you normally look, you
Right.
know, and a lot of cultures don't really know how to accept to look different. Like, oh, just grab a wig.
Right.
That
Right.
doesn't exist in their world. So
Right. Right.
my job is to make them look exactly like they did before they lost their hair, so that
Oh
they
wow. Okay.
can be
Mhm.
essential workers
Exactly.
in a normal world,
Right.
you know,
So
or
speak
just to be around their families.
right. So speaking of that, how has this pandemic situation affected not only you personally, in not in regards to the industry, but how has it affected, I know because everything at one point shut down.
Oh yeah.
Um, so how has it slowly come back into play? And what did you do? Because I know a little bit about that story, but what did you do during that time? That was all shut down and slowly getting back up to a little bit of normalcy.
Well, I personally, I had time to actually get my house together at the
Mm-hmm.
beginning,
Mm-hmm.
but it didn't stop me from working because what I
Right.
did was I worked on wigs like I never saw anybody.
Right.
In my salon, I'd work on wigs that for women who were going through cancer because
Mm-hmm.
cancer didn't stop from this pandemic.
Absolutely not. Absolutely
And,
not.
and a lot of these women were still doing Zoom meetings and they were still working as essential
Mm-hmm.
workers in front of their computers.
Oh, wow.
So
Okay.
I would get the wigs, I would get a picture, and I would do and get swatches of colors, and I would do these wigs, and then we would make sure everything was like sanitized. You have to
Mm-hmm.
go through
Mm-hmm.
everything.
Mm-hmm. Right.
So then I would make sure that they looked exactly like they did, and I would thin it out and give it the haircut.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
then the lady who would design the wigs would she would send it to them, or they would come in to a sterilized place and put the wig on. And if they needed
Okay.
any tweaking, they would give it back, and I would tweak
Mm-hmm.
it. And then
Mm-hmm.
that's how I worked. Like I
Okay.
worked like
Yeah.
3 or 4 days a week in the salon, just doing color on
Okay.
wigs.
Okay.
Which, thank goodness, I had so much hair color. Like I
Right.
had so much product. I was able to get rid of some stuff.
Right. Right.
And
So,
then
mhm,
I would
go
take
ahead.
care of my mom and make
Mhm.
sure that my house was so sterile.
Right.
I only went to 3 different places. I was
Mhm.
at home, at one grocery store, or in the salon.
Right. That's good.
So,
That's good.
and then before it started opening up, I started doing tutorials for this website
Mhm.
at wigs@.com.
Mhm.
And we're starting to do it so that we can help people instead of going to YouTube and not knowing what to ask for when you going through cancer or
Right.
alopecia. We
Mhm.
would literally we're telling them exactly whatever questions they got, they can go there, they can put it in there, and it would give them little tutorials to direct them to what they need to know, so that they can choose what YouTubes or whatever information they need, or if they just want like private classes or anything to help them get to another level of security.
Oh, well, that's good. That's a blessing. So in regards to your shows now, they've kind of opened up, and so I know you're not specifically in the studio right now, or are you going to the studio?
Oh yes, I've been taking them COVID tests since September.
Oh,
and
wow.
I have been, oh yes, I've been taking them constantly whenever I go on set, before I go on set. So I'm able to do this.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, thank you. I appreciate you. We are at the end of this wonderful, funny, all the good stuff. Behind the scenes, yes. Behind the scenes are really knowing, and I want people to know that I just don't interview just authors all the time. I want to interview artists. And so you're behind the scenes. You're doing the hair. You're doing. Your daughter is doing the makeup. On stuff right now, and so that's
right now. That's she's doing. Wait a minute. Let me tell you. I just got to say one thing for calling little Miss Koala.
Right.
She's doing special effects.
Right.
And the makeup. And because of the NNB, she has to make sure that the hair, because of the COVID, they have to come camera ready. So she just makes sure that the hair looks good on camera. But she could do all three. Like she could be a personal, because she traveled with LaToya Jackson to Mexico and to Berlin right before the pandemic. And so like she's doing major things. Right. She's knocking it out the page. And I mean, not out the, whatever the part.
I know what you just.
Shut up, girl. You know I'm contrary. I'll say it all wrong, and then I still get it right.
That is okay. But thank you. I appreciate you. I will have you on again. Whenever your stuff is out, and we can talk about that.
Oh yeah, we got more to talk about.
Yes, thank you. I appreciate you. And I appreciate your time.
I love you. Thank you.
Love you. All right. Say bye again. Bye.
Bye.
Hey, everyone. Thank you for viewing this episode of Nita Nay's Books, Author's Point of View, Behind the Scenes Artists. Thank you, and a shout out to Kathleen Leonard for her candid interview. I know we forgot to mention it, but yes, she is an Emmy-nominated artist, hairstylist for The Stars, and she was nominated for The Voice. All right, thank you again.